For me, the most wonderful moment in fashion is the choice of a place. From the point of view of a spectator, Haute Couture offers a really theatrical event. It's about expression without limits. It's not uniquely dependent on its commercial value. It's a form of artistic expression.
It's even more rare than ever. You know, the workmanship involved is so exquisite. It takes so many hours. And I think coming out of COVID especially, to be able to celebrate that kind of work on people's part and their contribution. You know, when I come to a défilé in France, I feel like I'm coming to the heart of France. And also Maria, Grazia always has an underlying message. She's also I think, going to talk about Ukraine, so I'm very anxious to be here to be part of that.
Ukraine plays a prominent role in Dior's 2022 Haute Couture Winter show, with Maria Grazia Chiuri commissioning a decor by multidisciplinary Kyiv-based artist Olesia Trofymenko.
We talked about, we have made something optimistic, yeah. In this situation, it was very hard to, redirect your mind because all this awful news from Bucha, Irpin, and others. At least it was the right decision to do something about life, not about that.
Are you going to stay in Paris or are you going flying back to Ukraine?
No, I come back to Ukraine tomorrow.
Olesia Trofymenko's work is a mix of photographs, painting and embroidery, all of which reference traditional Ukrainian clothes. And another symbol that makes repeated appearances in this show, the Tree of Life.
I think this idea is very close to what we do with the embroidery too. Is this idea that I found and touched me also a lot in the program that there is in Europe about a new buy house. I think to mix all the different knowledge is possible in couture. It's very experimental. We did other dresses that probably are not so visible on the set, but where we renovate the idea of smoke, but it's not done with the stitching, but with the mignon. This is done in our atelier in Paris. It's magnificent, and you drape or you pleat the dress, and after with this mignon you have to make all the little hole for make this smoke. And it's between the construction and the embroidery too. Couture is a territory where you can experiment what you want, and it's magnificent.
We have to get in the car. It was beautiful. It was very beautiful. Ciao.
Innovation means something different for every fashion house. The inimitable Jean-Paul Gaultier stopped working in 2020, but his workshops, now controlled by the Spanish group Puig, continue to produce clothes in conjunction with external designers, charged with interpreting the iconic Gaultier DNA. After the Japanese Chitose Abe and the Belgian Glenn Martens, it's time for Balmain's artistic director Olivier Rousteing to take the reins.
It's going to be amazing. These are two worlds that should come together. Both of them really love women's bodies. They conjure up architecture with women's bodies. They like big shoulders, cinched-in waist. It's the fashion marriage I've been waiting for.
It's part of the history. It's so an amazing moment for Olivier. I'm very happy for him actually, because what is going on right now in Japan, that just picked him to be part of this project. I mean, I'm very happy for him. He's still super young. He's like reuniting two different worlds, but just mixing them in a perfect way. So I feel very happy for them, and I know this is going to be a big success.
I think that it's a real love letter, a mark of respect for everything he's done. It's a monologue with myself, but while speaking to him, Jean-Paul didn't want to influence my collection, so instead it was me trying to speak to him while asking myself, what would he think?
Was there anything that was particularly difficult?
The hours. Every item took hours to produce, but there's lots of love and passion there and an incredible workshop that supported me to the end, even in challenging moments. He was absolutely fantastic. He took up my sartorial codes, a lot of different things I've done, but interpreted it all in his way while adding something extra. What he's created aren't copies. In fact, he's used my stuff as a base, a source material, and then he's done something different with it. Bravo. He's been wonderful. I love what he does. He's hugely talented, and he does it with such good humor. He does everything with such wonderful humor. That's what sometimes can be lacking, but not here. There's real humor there.
These extraordinary clothes will only ever be worn by a small, extremely wealthy elite, but their influence will be felt throughout the fashion ecosystem in the months and years to come.
They observe. They contact us. They report, film, photograph. They are the voice of the voiceless. Your eyes in the far-flung reaches of the world. The Observers, a network of 5,000 committed citizens working with France 24.
One of our observers in Côte d'Ivoire, Gaspard.
Amateur footage and testimonials checked by our journalists and broadcast weekly. On The Observers, on France 24 and observers.france24.com.